Bonjour, my name is Amanda. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am a 9th year teacher and I'm teaching grade 1 to French Immersion. Today I'm going to go through some of the books in my library and pick out some of my September read alouds. In one of my more recent videos, I shared my September bin, which had some books that I normally read during the month of September, most of which are related to back to school. So I'm not going to include those books here, but I will show you the ones that I just pulled, and I'll talk a little bit about how I plan on using them in the classroom. Okay, one of the first books I have is J'ai le cœur rempli de bonheur. This one is available in English, and it's My Heart Fills with Happiness by Monique Gray Smith. Wonderful author. I was able to listen to her speak the other year, and this book I like because it has fairly simple language, simple pictures, and it'll allow us to talk about things that make our own hearts fill with happiness. And so I have some writing activities where they will have a heart and they fill inside things that are inside of their heart, and then we use that as a resource for when we're doing any journals or writing. It is just something they have as a reference if they don't have any ideas. So love this book. This one is an English book, The Colors of Us by Karen Katz. Again, pretty simple language, beautiful pictures, and this we'll do to mix our own paint colors for our skin, and from that I'll have students paint little peg dolls to match them, so we have a peg doll version of each student to include like in loose parts. So I haven't done that activity yet, but I'm looking forward to doing it this year. This is one of my go-to books for when we start with morning meetings. This is The Circle of Caring and Sharing. And again, like, it's in English, but it's one that I translate as I'm reading. Again, like, simple language, beautiful illustrations, and talks about the importance of like listening to others while we're having like our morning meetings. So this one will probably be read at the start of next week when we have students back full time. This is a book I've normally done towards the end of the year, but I think I'm going to start with it earlier this year because I want to start the year with more of an identity inquiry. And so this one is Il n'y en a pas de comme toi, so Only One You, I believe, is the English title. And this book, like, again, is simple, beautiful pictures, and then these are all rocks, so we paint our own rocks. These ones are obviously painted to look a little bit more like fish, but we'll see what students come up with. When I've done this in the past, we've often just like decorated the rock and then on the other side written like a feel-good message. So we'll see where the students go with this one. And I'm covering my name in the corner, so that's why I'm sort of holding books awkwardly and showing them like this. Okay, I do have quite a few books, so I'll go by a little bit faster. Dix petits poissons, 10 little fish, and I believe this one is almost wordless. Yeah, it's like cat poisson, and you just find them. It's just a counting thing. So this is going to be a math art activity. You Matter, again to tie into our inquiry unit. These next couple I like because they are all on the theme of being like a hero or a superhero. So I'm excited to hear how students see themselves as heroes and what qualities in others they see that makes others like heroes. So I have this one, I have this one, and this one, which has some of my favorite illustrations, Super Lumineuse. I'll show you the inside of this one. Just really, really pretty drawings. A little bit wordier, especially for the start of the year with these grade 1-2 students, but we'll make it work. This is going to be a super important book this year, specifically because of our focus on social and emotional learning. So this is La couleur des émotions. There are different versions of this book, and the reason for that is because this one is a pop-up book. So let's see if I can angle the camera and show you a bit more. So yeah, it pops up. I don't have it opened fully, but it is a gorgeous book to talk about emotions and the colors of our emotions. So I think I'm going to try to tie that one into zones of regulation. And to help talk about any nerves that we're feeling, we have Le Souci de Cali. And again, like, beautiful illustrations. I think that's why I buy half of the books that I have, or honestly probably like 80% of the books that I have. But yeah, just talking about worries and how we can address our worries. One concern that some students brought forward when we met, so this past week, Thursday and Friday, I had half of my class on each of the days for 75 minutes, and one of the concerns a student brought forward was how to make friends. Like, she doesn't have any friends that she knew in the half of the class that she was with, so I think this one might be something we explore. I don't know if I will read it to them, but we'll see how they do once the whole class is together on Monday. Again, to go with our social emotional learning, La méditation c'est pour moi. And this is one that I read to my students at during online learning last year. And I think it's like a really great book to get kids to slow down, and then we do directed drawings with this too. Learning how to listen. Il a faim écouter. So this one I really like. It's almost like a David, but with a rabbit, and just learning how to listen. So I think this one will probably come in handy because I do have a chatty bunch this year, and rightfully so. Like, they haven't really socialized with this many kids in 6 months, so we'll need to practice our listening skills. This one is one of my all-time favorites. I always do like a big bulletin board where I write out the words soit toi-même. Sometimes I include the drawings as well, and then students collaboratively color in this poster, and then it's on display in our room all year. So again, I think this ties nicely with our identity inquiry that we're going to be adventuring through. This one I think is one of the more memorable books that students see throughout the year. So love that. Another one that I love doing at the start of the year is Moi je m'aime. And this is a board book, but I know it comes in a paperback for sure. And this one is to get students thinking about things that they like about themselves. And so we often stop at this page and we look at the parts that this person likes about themselves, and then we use that for some art inspiration too. I'm almost done. I have a couple, just a couple left. So you have 2 per, so this is to get kids thinking about things that they can do. I like this one because there are opportunities in here to talk about gender stereotypes and just be yourself. So love this. Another great book that I'll be sharing at the start of next week is They, She, He, Me, Free to Be. Beautiful drawings, super simple text. Yeah, my brain is not fully working right now. Anyways, and then there is a guide at the back for talking about pronouns. So this one I like to do in English, but then also introduce French pronouns at the same time. It's simple enough, and then if students feel so inspired to share their pronouns with us, they're welcome to, but we just talk about like how we can't really base or like assume someone's gender based on their appearance. Like they have to tell us. So anyways, that's that. I love this, and maybe we'll do a watercolor art activity this year because these illustrations, like, I am obsessed. The classic, Une famille, c'est une famille. And this is just to get us talking about different family types, what our families look like. I don't like referring to our class as a family. I'm just not sure how I fully feel about it, so I don't like to. But our class is a community, and so we talk about that. Yeah, so this will get students thinking about who's a part of their family, and if they choose to include our class as part of their family, like, that's fine. But anyways, that's this. Drawings, always great source of easy art inspo. And then the last two are ones that I'm going to use to start off my storytelling, I don't want to say unit, but just our storytelling practice or story workshop. So the first one is Je suis une histoire, I am a story. And this just talks about, like, what is a story and how stories have evolved over time. Let me give you a bigger view. So how stories have evolved over time. Again, super easy language, pretty captivating images. And it gets us thinking about what a story is and what elements of stories we want to include when we start writing our own. And then the last one is going to be support for adding detail to our stories as well, because we're asking who, what, where. And so these will be prompts for students to think of, like, who is in your story, what's going on, where is it taking place. And these are going to be the basic elements that they will be expected to include. And I like this because it's almost like a puzzle. So it's like, who is looking at themselves in the mirror, and then you have a lineup and you have to figure out which one of these it is, or who's dressed as a horse. So I think this one's really great for getting students to make inferences as well. So anyways, I will leave that one there. Okay, so this is the first glimpse of some of the books that I'm going to be bringing into my classroom in September and probably into October and November. There will be other books that I bring as well, like some that are within our own classroom library that I'll pull, like some Pete the Cat, some Elephant and Piggy, some leveled readers I pull as well, just so that they can see, like, simple sentence structure, and then we can use that in our own writing. And that's that. So I've pulled these books. I'll keep these in a basket at school, so it's a read aloud basket. Students will be welcome to look through the books, but I often encourage them to just look at the books after we've read it as a class so that they can explore more deeply without any spoilers. But yeah, these books will be available to them, but I don't put them in the class library. There's, like, our special read aloud basket, and then I switch it out once we're nearing the end of the set, and then I pull another set of books from home to school, so that all the books that are in my closet are not all at school at the same time. Yeah, so next week I'm excited to get to know my students a bit better and how they interact with each other and what their interests are, and then I can pull more books based on that. I do have plenty more books to work into our identity unit, but again, I want to know our students a bit more first before I pull out, like, half my library. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and à la prochaine.
Goodbye.